Voices fade, the pressure leaves, promises lost between the lines, deadlines calling, hearts out of time. It's turned to walls of blame, silence hides the weight of shame, but in the chaos truth will rise through broken trust.
ALIFA, thanks for finally showing up. We've been texting and calling for days now. Nothing but a vague replies like tomorrow or I'll get it from you. Now we're just 2 days from the deadline. And this project is 30% of our grade. And your section still missing. We're stalled now. What's going on?
I know I messed up. I am really sorry for the inconvenience. I know I should have replied properly. It's just, my grandma's been in the hospital and I have had midterms in chemistry and also the biology subjects. Everything in my life has been building up suddenly. I've been so stressed. The feeling of anxiety has kept me so anxious and overwhelmed. I didn't want to complain or dump all that on you guys.
That sounds really tough, ALIFA. I know your personal life like family or exams can really take a toll on you. But please do understand that your silence really made it hard for us to complete the assignment. So right now, all we need is your transparency. Now, let's start with what you got. Can you show us your progress? Come sit.
Oh, why are you so lenient to her? We have split the task weeks ago. I have finished the literature review, but wrap up the methodology. If you told us earlier, we could adjust. Open it up, let's see where you're at.
I'm sorry, Bob. Here, I have written a little bit about the introduction, like definition and examples. But the others, I started them, but I got stuck. I couldn't focus because I'm so stressed. Everything's been a blur.
Honestly, I could feel their eyes burning through me. I knew I had messed up, and part of me just wanted to disappear at that moment. It wasn't that I didn't care. I just didn't know how to explain the chaos in my life without sounding like I was making excuses. Hearing HAASIF talk like that hurt, but I also understood that I had let them down by not communicating.
When someone doesn't reply for days, it's not about just missing work, it's about trust. I've managed group projects before, and once someone starts going silent, the whole thing falls apart. I wasn't trying to be rude, but deadlines are real, and excuses don't get you marks. I wanted ALIFA to know that she's part of the team, but accountability has to come first.
We're all under pressure, ALIFA. Not just you. I've been juggling this with my part-time job now. We all have our own problems. You should know that commitment matters. There is still another option. Maybe we could ask the professor for an extension, but that is too risky. The policy is tight. It could backfire and affect our grades.
Maybe the extension would help. Like I have said, my grandma's situation is very serious. She is like a second parent to me. With all midterms and anxiety, I just shut down, and it is why I did not answer your text. Maybe we collaborate now? Could you guys guide me through the essay?
Let's lay out our options. Like, how about option 1? We rearrange our tasks, and HASIF can take over the appendix, and I'll handle the visualizations. And maybe you do the editing. The advantage of this is that we can meet the deadline and the quality is assured. But the disadvantage is that you might feel that it's unfair, ALIFA.
I agree with you both. The assignment is good, but we can ensure that we will not miss the deadline. We can also add a few checkpoints while we're on it. And you, ALIFA, I want you to give us hourly updates. No more silence after this. That is how we keep it professional.
Thank you guys. I think the checkpoints are fine. But the full reassignment actually sidelines me. I really want to contribute, but what if we do supervised help? You guys can walk me through the tough parts?
I have an idea. I think we can do a hybrid model then. We can start on the help sessions now and fall back to the reassignment if needed. That way, we're contributing to the assignment. Also, ALIFA, I think if the anxiety keeps hitting you really hard, maybe you can check in with the campus support.
Fine, but we need serious commitment from you, ALIFA. Are you ready to start?
Yeah, let us try. Are we going to start from the introduction first? HASIF, can you help me?
We just divide chat and try to communicate.
Okay, but my head's not fully in it.
It's okay, guys. Let's do this step by step. I think we'll get through this.
I could see both of them trying to hold back frustration. HASIF means well, but his tone can feel harsh when emotions are already high. I just wanted to find balance, to keep the group from falling apart. In group work, someone has to be the peacemaker, and I guess that's my role here.
I don't enjoy being the bad guy in the team, but sometimes someone needs to take control. When deadlines are close, emotion doesn't matter anymore. Results do. Still, I hope ALIFA would see this as a wake-up call, not an attack.
I wanted to say I was trying my best, but the truth was I wasn't focused at all. Part of me kept thinking I could catch up later, but now I realize how unfair that was to them. It's hard when your emotions get in the way of your responsibilities, but it's even harder facing people you've disappointed.
Wait, hold on, ALIFA. Something's not adding up. I just got a notification from my friend on Instagram, and he saw you going out with your friends every night this week. So all this drama in the hospital and anxiety talk are just a blanket to keep your life nice and cozy? Are all of your excuses just a cover? Be straight with me. Were you going out instead of working?
Okay, you caught me. Yeah, I've been going, but it started as a break from stress. The crappy thing, it is not totally true. She is fine. It is just a checkup. But the midterms are real, and I exaggerate the anxiety. I have been panicking, and I didn't mean to lie. I just did not know how to admit I was lacking.
Whoa, that's really shocking and disappointing, ALIFA. But I believe in you, girl. You know, lying about personal stuff can really break our trust. So we are ready to support you, and now I think this really changes things.
I'm just exposing the truth. While we wasted time emphasizing with you, you were slacking off and going out with friends. This isn't personal, it's accountability. Let's move on to a new strategy. No more hybrid models and full reassignment. I'll do the final essay, Bob takes the article research, and you stick with proofreading under our supervision.
Come on guys, that would be really harsh for me. I do feel overwhelmed sometimes. Can't we stick to help sessions? I'll be honest from now on, and no more excuses from me.
Wait, hold on guys. I think trust is key here. HAASIF, if we follow your instructions of full reassignment, we can protect our grade. But the cons is, ALIFA will be excluded from this assignment. That could breed resentment in our group. So, I think let's add an honesty clause. We work together, no more lies, and we can monitor the progress slowly.
Monitoring, yes, but with contingency. If you skip again, we will mail the professor about your unequal contributions. You must own your lie, ALIFA.
I'm sorry guys, I lied because admitting I slept felt worse to me. And now I regret it. So, can us just rebuild our trust? I will stick to the plan, and I will give hourly updates and no more hiding.
Alright guys, let's frame this as a learning moment for all of us. How about we go with this plan, okay? Supervised work for you, and reassignment if needed. How about that?
Just prove to us that you can make the change, ALIFA.
When HAASIF called me out, I felt my heart sink. I didn't expect him to find out so directly, and I honestly panicked. But in a weird way, it was a relief. I didn't have to keep pretending. I realized that lying only made everything heavier, and the guilt was worse than the scolding. It was the first time I truly saw how much my actions affected the group's trust.
I don't like embarrassing anyone, but honesty is non-negotiable. The moment I found out that she lied, I know we couldn't go as if nothing happened. It's not about being perfect, it's about being real. If she had told us the truth earlier, we could have worked around it. But once truth breaks, rebuilding it takes time. And proof, not promises.
That was the moment the whole group dynamic shifted. Everyone looked so uncomfortable, and the air felt thick with disappointment. I realized how quickly trust can vanish, even in a small team. But I also saw something else, a chance for them to grow from this, to actually rebuild what was lost through honesty and forgiveness.
Okay guys, let's solidify. So given the lie, here's another plan. I think we can do another full reassignment of core tasks to HASIF and me for speed. And then maybe ALIFA can contribute via monitored proofreading and hourly checkpoints. And then we add a group pact on honesty and no more fabrications. And let's add one more contingency. If the trust breaks again, HASIF will draft a note to the professor about the imbalanced effort based on the facts.
Okay, that's fine. That covers it. ALIFA, commit now or stop waiting for you.
I'm committed, guys. I'm sorry again, then I will step up for this time.
That's great progress, everyone. So now let's implement this a bit before wrapping up. Alright?
I think this experience reminded us that teamwork isn't just about dividing tasks. It's about trust, empathy, and communication. Everyone makes mistakes, but what matters is how you fix them. I am proud that we managed to end on a note of accountability rather than resentment. If we can carry this honesty forward, our next project will definitely be stronger.
She said she'll change, and now it's time to see if that's true. I respect her for admitting what she did, but I also believe that trust must be aimed back through consistency. In the end, leadership isn't about control. It's about setting standards that everyone, including me, must follow.
I learned that honesty isn't weakness. It's actually the hardest kind of courage. I thought lying would protect me from judgment, but it just created walls between us. But this group showed me that accountability can coexist with compassion. That's make me want to rebuild that trust, not just for this project, but for myself too.
Fly me to the moon and let me play among the stars.
Good evening, everyone. Thank you for being here. Welcome to our forum titled Group Project Deadline Dilemma. A scenario that might sound all too familiar to many of us. Whether you are a student, a team leader, or someone who's ever worked on a collaborative task, you've likely faced this situation. A group project is due in just a few days. The pressure is mounting. Most of the team has done their part, but one member hasn't. And now, the group is stuck between two difficult choices. One, do they take over the unfinished work to protect the grade? Or two, do they support the struggling members and risk falling behind? This isn't just about deadlines, it's about responsibility, empathy, and communication, and also leadership. It's about what happens when real life collides with academic or professional expectation.
Today, we will hear from the three voices. which each representing a different perspective in this dilemma. First, we have ALIFA, the overwhelmed group member who's been struggling silently and is now seeking understanding. Second, we have HAASIF, the group leader, who's focused on results, structure, and protecting the team's grade. Lastly, we have Bok, the neutral and supportive member who is trying to hold the group together and find a fair compromise.
Each of them will share their side of the story, honestly, emotionally, and with the hope of being heard. As you listen, I invite you to reflect on your own experiences. Have you ever been in ALIFA's shoes, feeling behind and afraid to speak up? Or maybe you've been HAASIF, carrying the weight of the team and feeling the pressure to deliver. Or perhaps you've been like Bok, caught in the middle, trying to keep the peace. This forum isn't about finding one right answer. It's about exploring the complexity of teamwork. It's about asking deeper questions. What does it mean to be a good teammate? How do we balance empathy with accountability? And how can we build group cultures that support both success and well-being? So, let's begin not just with open ears, but with open minds. Please welcome our first speaker, ALIFA.
I know I have let the group down. My part of the project is not done, and I can feel the tension. But before you decide what happens next, I need you to hear me, not just as a teammate, but as someone who has been struggling. I care about this project. I have been thinking about it constantly, even if I have not produced much. I did not sign up to be a burden. I signed up to contribute. But life got heavy, like personal issues and also mental exhaustion. I did not know how to ask for help. Yes, I should have spoken up earlier. That's on me. But I'm not asking for a free pass. I'm asking for a chance to still be part of this. Maybe we can break my session into smaller tasks. I will work with someone, maybe Bok, to get through it. I will stay up late, take on extra work after submission. All I want is I want to earn back your trust. This experience taught me that silence does not protect, but it isolates me. I thought I was being strong by keeping quiet, but strength is asking for help. I want to be better, not just for this project, but for future ones. I hope you will give me that chance.
We're 2 days from submission, and this project is 40% of our final grade. I've already tried to keep us organized, on track, and focused, but now we're facing a serious problem. I've made sure that everyone knows their own roles. I follow up, check in, and try to keep things fair. But one part of the puzzle is missing, and that affects all of us. I understand that ALIFA's going through a lot, but we are a team. If someone's struggling, then they need to speak up early. Not wait until the last minute. Hear what I propose. We should set a mini deadline tonight. If ALIFA can show progress, we'll support her to finish. If not, Bok and I will take over that section. We can't afford to wait. This situation reminded me that leadership isn't just about control, it's about care. I'll check in more often, not just on progress, but on people. But right now, we need action. Let's make a decision and move forward.
I've been listening to both of you, and I think you're both right in your own ways. I know ALIFA's overwhelmed and HAASIF's focus on the deadline, and I just want us to finish this project without resentment. I believe in shared responsibility and flexibility. We don't need to choose between empathy and efficiency. We can have both. Let's break down what's left. ALIFA can take manageable tasks, maybe research or visuals, and I'll support her. HAASIF can oversee the structure and final edits. We'll set checkpoints to make sure we're progressing. That way, we're not just hoping. It's measurable. This situation reminded me that teamwork isn't just about dividing tasks. It's about understanding each other. Compromise isn't weakness. It's a strategy. So, if we finish this project with both quality and kindness, I think we've already succeeded.
ALIFA, how do you respond to HAASIF's concerns about the deadline?
Thank you for asking me. I understand where HAASIF is coming from. The deadline is close, and my delay has put the group at risk. I won't deny that. But I also want to say that deadlines don't exist in a vacuum. Behind every missed task is a person, and in my case, a person who has been overwhelmed. I did not ignore the project. I didn't forget the project. I have been thinking about it constantly, but I have been stuck in a cycle of stress and guilt. I didn't know how to ask for help without feeling like a failure. So yes, I take the responsibility, but I also ask for an understanding. I'm not asking the group to lower its standards, but I'm asking for a chance to meet them with support. If we can shift from blame to collaboration, I believe we can still finish strong. And now, I'm ready to work, and I'm ready to prove that I care.
HAASIF, could your leadership style adapt to support struggling members?
That's a fair question. I've always believed that leadership means keeping things on track, which is by setting goals, following timelines, and making sure everyone delivers. But this situation has challenged me to think deeper. I realize now that leadership isn't just about managing tasks. It is about managing people too. And people aren't machines. They also have emotions, challenges, and limits. I could have checked in more personally with ALIFA, I could have asked, "How are you doing?" instead of just, "Is your part ready?" So yes, I'm willing to adapt. I'll still hold the team accountable because that is my role as a leader. But I also build in a space for empathy. That means earlier check-ins, flexible planning, and creating culture where asking for help isn't seen as weakness. If we want to succeed as a team, we need to lead with both structure and compassion. I'm learning that balance and I'm committed to improving. Thank you.
Bok, what does compromise look like in practice here?
Compromise isn't just about splitting tasks. It's about listening, adjusting, and finding common ground. So in this case, it means recognizing that ALIFA is struggling, but still wants to contribute. It means acknowledging HAASIF's urgency, but softening the pressure. Practically, compromise could look like this. We meet tonight, break down what's left, and redistribute based on capacity. ALIFA takes on manageable tasks, maybe research, visuals, or proofreading. HASIF and I handle the structural parts. We set mini deadlines so we're not guessing. It also means emotional compromise. We let go of frustration and we choose patience. We stop seeing this as ALIFA's problem and seeing it as a team challenge. Compromise isn't weakness, it's a strategy. It's how we move forward without burning bridges. And if we do it well, we'll not only finish the project, we'll grow as collaborators.
What's more important, empathy or efficiency?
As for me, honestly, it is not a competition. Empathy and efficiency are both essential, and the real challenge is by balancing them. Efficiency without empathy can lead to burnout, resentment, and broken teams. And empathy without structure can lead to missed deadlines and chaos. What do you think, Bob?
I think in this scenario, we need both. We need HAASIF's drive to meet the deadline, and we also need your vulnerability to remind us that people matter. My role here also shows us how to bridge the two. So I think instead of choosing just one, we should ask, how can we build systems that support both? And how can we plan with flexibility, communicate with care, and still deliver results? That's the real goal. Not choosing empathy or efficiency, but designing teamwork that honors both.
How should the group handle future conflicts differently?
This situation to me has been a wake-up call. In the future, we need to build a culture of early communication. That means regular check-ins, which is not just about progress, but about well-being. We also should set expectations clearly at the start, such as what's the timeline, what's each person's role, what happens if someone falls behind. Having a group contract or shared agreement really could help. We also need to normalize asking for help. Struggling shouldn't be shameful. It should be met with support. and leaders should be trained to notice signs of stress, not just signs of delay. Conflict is inevitable, but if we handle it with empathy, structure, and open dialogue, it becomes a chance to grow, not a reason to divide. Let's turn this experience into blueprint for better teamwork.
Hi everyone, today we are going to talk about the big idea. Lifelong learning shapes teachers' passion in achieving quality education. This topic is really meaningful for us, especially after going through our project experience. We realize that being a lifelong learner doesn't only mean gaining more knowledge. It's about constantly reflecting, improving, and growing as individuals and future educators.
That's true, Bob. From our project, I learned that challenges actually push us up to keep learning. At first, I saw lifelong learning as something formal, like attending workshop or getting another degree. But now, I see it's more than that. It's about self-awareness, communication, and learning from every experience. For teachers, this attitude keeps their passion alive, even when they face stress or setbacks.
Exactly. I can relate to that. In our project, I struggled with managing time and emotions, and honestly, I made mistakes. But reflecting on that taught me something deeper. Lifelong learning is not just about being perfect, but it's about being open to growth. Teachers who see challenges as learning opportunities become more empathetic and passionate in their teaching.
So, how would we define lifelong learning in the context of education?
For me, lifelong learning means the continuous process of improving one's knowledge, skills, and mindset. Teachers who embrace lifelong learning don't just teach, they evolve. They keep up with the new teaching methods, adapt to technology, and reflect on their classroom practices. This adaptability helps them stay passionate about their work and maintain high-quality education.
I agree. When teachers stop learning, their teaching becomes repetitive and less inspiring. But when they continue to learn, whether from their students, colleagues, or even their own experiences, they become more creative. Passion grows from curiosity. A teacher who keeps learning is a teacher who keeps caring.
Yes, and that passion is contagious. Students can feel when their teachers are genuinely interested in new ideas. It motivates them to learn too. So, lifelong learning doesn't just shape teachers, it shapes the entire learning environment.
I think passion and reflection are deeply connected. In our previous script, I was the strict one and focused on deadlines. But when I reflected on that, I realized that I also need to learn empathy. That reflection made me a better team leader, and it reminded me that teachers too must balance structure with compassion. That's what lifelong learning looks like in real life.
That's a good point. When teachers reflect, they understand their students better. For example, if a student is struggling, a reflective teacher won't just punish you or scold them, and they will ask, why is this happening? And that understanding leads to better teaching strategies and a more positive classroom culture. So, reflection keeps their passion meaningful, then it connects the knowledge with humanity.
And reflection helps teachers rediscover their purpose. Teaching can be exhausting sometimes, but lifelong learners see every challenge as a reminder of why they teach, to guide, to inspire, and to keep growing alongside their students. Now, let's connect lifelong learning directly to quality education. How does one influence the other?
I think that quality education isn't just about academic achievement. It's about developing critical thinkers, responsible citizens, and lifelong learners among students. Teachers who keep learning model that behavior.
They show students that learning never stops, even outside the classroom. That mindset builds a culture of continuous improvement.
Yes, and lifelong learning also keeps teachers adaptable to changes in the education system, new technologies, new curriculums, and new learning needs. It all requires teachers to stay updated. When they stay curious and motivated, the quality of their teaching automatically improves.
That's right. Passionate teachers make learning engaging. When they are enthusiastic, students respond with the same energy. So, lifelong learning fuels passion, and passion drives quality education. It's a continuous cycle.
Yeah, looking back at our project experience, I think we were all teachers and learners at the same time. We learned about honesty, teamwork, and accountability. These lessons might not come from textbooks, but they are part of lifelong learning.
I totally agree. That experience reminded me that mistakes don't define us, but they teach us. In the same way, teachers who see failure as feedback become stronger educators. Their passion grows because they see learning as a journey, not a destination.
And that's the essence of lifelong learning. It keeps us humble and inspired. It reminds us that no matter how much we know, there's always more to discover, more to reflect, and more to improve. That mindset creates passionate teachers and quality learners.
To sum up everything, lifelong learning is the heart of quality education. It shapes teachers who are not only knowledgeable, but also compassionate and adaptable. Passion doesn't come from routine, it comes from a continuous growth.
Yes, and that passion is what makes students feel seen and inspired. When teachers keep learning, they don't just teach content, but they teach values, curiosity, and resilience.
So, in the end, lifelong learning isn't just about teachers improving themselves. It's about creating a ripple effect. It nurtures passionate educators, engaged students, and a stronger education system. That's all from us. Thank you.
In the glow of the midnight screen, voices fade, the pressure leans.
Kena buat kamera ke? Aku tak tahu.
Because every
Oh my days now.